So today I want to talk about infinity. This is the first video I'm making on infinity. I'm going to make a bunch more and put them in a playlist. In this video, all I want to do is consider a thought experiment whose purpose is to maybe convince you that intuitions about infinity are not quite on totally solid footing. So here's the thought experiment. It starts with a pile with all the numbers in it. And I want to describe a process of putting numbers from the pile into a bucket. So imagine that you take the numbers 1, 2, up to 10, and put them in this bucket. Okay, some numbers in this bucket, numbers 1 through 10. And then on second thought, you decide, actually, I don't really like the number 1, so it's going to go into a discarded pile. The discard pile, I don't care about the numbers in this pile. I'm only trying to keep the numbers in this bucket that I like. So after this stage, I go back to the pile, or the person goes back to the pile of all the numbers, and they take the next 10. They take 11, 12, up to 20. They put them all in this bucket. And then they peer in again and they say, actually, I don't really like the number 11. That's being discarded. And this process repeats. So you get 21, up to 30 going in, 21 being discarded. What we can see is that at each stage, we have 10 numbers added, 1 taken away. So it's easy to see that at stage 1, we have 9 numbers in the bucket. At stage 2, we have 18 numbers in the bucket. At stage, 100, we have 900 numbers in the bucket. And finally, at stage infinity, and this is where I'm appealing to your intuitions, if you repeat this process through to infinity, all the numbers, right? So you're emptying this pile. And at stage infinity, we have infinity numbers in the bucket. So if you're like me, that's the intuition you have as well, that this process continues, and if I extend it out to infinity, whatever that's supposed to mean, it should be that at the end of that process, I've got infinitely many numbers in this bucket. All right. Now here's where it gets weird, because I'm going to describe a very similar process that starts with all numbers and has a bucket and has a discard pile. And the process starts like before. I put the numbers 1, 2, up to 10 in a bucket, and I discard the number 1. And then in the second stage, I put the numbers 11, 12, up to 20 into the bucket. And now here's where it changes just a little bit. Now I look in the bucket, and instead of discarding the number 11, I think actually, on second thought, I pull out the number 2, and I discard it instead. And then I put the numbers 21 through to 30 inside the bucket. I look in again, and I pull out the number 3. And I continue in this pattern. Now, like before, at stage 1, I have 9 numbers in the bucket. The numbers 1 through 10 except for 1. And at stage 2, I have 18 numbers in the bucket because of the numbers 1 through 20 that I've put in, I've removed 1 and 2, so there are 18 left. Just like at stage 2 of here, where I had the numbers 2 through 10 and 12 through 20. Different numbers, but still 18 in total. So you can see same pattern is happening down here. At each stage, I put 10 numbers in and take 1 number out. So the total number of numbers in the bucket increases by 9. So at stage 100, I've got 900 numbers in the bucket. And now I carry this process again, like before, to its end, to infinity. And you engage your intuition and you think, how many numbers are in the bucket at the end of this process if I take it to infinity? And on the one hand, you might think, well, it's exactly like before. At each stage, 9 numbers are going in. But the answer is actually nothing is in the bucket at stage infinity. Nothing at all is in the bucket. And to prove that to you, it's actually very simple. If something is in this bucket, some number is in this bucket, what number could possibly be in this bucket? You might think, well, maybe in the end, the number 100 is still in this bucket. But no, because if I follow this pattern, 100 is discarded on the 100th stage. You think, okay, maybe 1,253 is in the bucket. But that can't be in the bucket either, because on the 1,253rd stage, it gets discarded. And this pattern is such that every number that could possibly be in the bucket is eventually discarded from the bucket. So while I agree that at all finite stages, the bucket is getting more and more full with numbers, at stage infinity, it's empty. And that is fundamental to how infinity works.